The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/thearena_podcast.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 71. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly of Burly Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. Burly, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I actually slept more than 6.5 hours for a night, so that's kind of been nice.
Nice. Carl, how you doing, man?
Good. I changed. I got a little something different right over here.
Oh, nice.
If you noticed,
Yeah.
relating to maybe a story.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. No Enderman.
So,
Nah.
for our audio listeners, can you describe that for them?
Oh yeah, I should probably remember that. Yeah, we got these are actually from the Disney. What was the name of that game? Kind of like the Skylanders.
Infinity?
Disney Infinity. Boy, I love the design of these figures. They're so cool. They're that like vinyl feel.
Mm-hmm.
I got Kylo Ren, I got Darth Maul, and I got Darth Vader.
Nice.
And yeah, I like when they discontinued these. I was so sad because like these are such a cool design. Like the way they made all the characters have the same sort of art style to them, so they would match in the same world, and I just love it.
Cool. All right. So, we got a great show for you today. Of course, Star Wars, there's more games coming down the pipeline. We're going to be talking about that. Call of Duty, it seems, is still going to be coming to PlayStation for the foreseeable future. We're going to talk about that as well. We're going to be talking about, for example, Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West have gone gold, and we're going to be talking about like graphical comparisons, especially for Horizon Forbidden West, and also we're going to be talking about our new releases for the week of January 31st through February 6th, as well as the PS Plus and Xbox games with gold and Game Pass games that we know of so far that are coming in February. We're going to be doing that as well. But before we get into what we've been playing this past week, here's a brief word about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they've been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, and the post-show, in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon in early access for one day after recording. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry Tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode and post-show in audio and video formats, as well as watch or listen ad-free, please visit patreon.com/thearena_podcast for further details. Weekly on Sundays, the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services. Weekly on Wednesdays for the post-show, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, Spotify, Amazon Music, and in video format on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at @thearena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
Okay, guys, I'll start as usual. I've been playing Horizon Forbidden West. Not Forbidden West. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, did you get
I
the
wish I
early copy?
was. No. Horizon Zero Dawn's the Frozen Wilds, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah. So I so much want to be playing Forbidden West. I can't wait till the 18th till that comes out. But anyway, yeah, I've been playing the Frozen Wilds. I've been in that one bunker in the story, and there's some puzzles there that were a little bit challenging. So I got through those, and I'm still progressing through that. And then I also played that Space Invaders. What is it called? The Infinity Gene. I was playing through that a little bit today. Just going through some of the levels. There's like 300 or 400 levels in that game. It's amazing how many there are. But it's pretty challenging. I got through about 10 of the levels. But yeah, it gets pretty challenging as you go on. And today in the podcast, our topic of the show is going to be, should difficult games have easy modes to them? We're going to be talking about that as well in our topic of the show. But that's what I've been playing, man. So Burley, how about you? Something Pikachu or something like that related to that? Yeah.
Bulbasaur.
What have you been playing, Burley?
Good thing I'm ground type, so I'm resistant to electric type attacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Because Expat keeps trying to thundershock me. A quick little roundup. I did finish the Frozen Wilds DLC, and I also did finish Persona 5 Strikers.
Cool. Burley, I have a question for you. How long did it take you to finish Frozen Wilds?
I think
from start to finish.
Start to finish?
Yeah.
It was probably about 7 hours.
Okay.
For the story.
Yeah.
About that. Because that one of those puzzles and one of the where you got to do the climbing and jumping in the one cave.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know what I'm talking about if you played the Frozen Wilds. Yeah, that took me a little bit on some of that.
What kind of a story is it on that game? Like, it's
obviously
it's a side story that.
It's a side story. Go ahead, Burley.
But it does tie to the main game a little.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It ties back to one of the origin machines that you talk about, and it does mention you get a little bit more info on a certain character from the first game that they do show in the trailer of the second game. I'm just not going to name the character, but if you've played the game, I guarantee you know which person I'm talking about. So basically, we're going a boss fight.
It's the Bannock. I think it's the Bannock tribe, right, Burley? In the northern regions there that he goes, or that Aloy goes to, and she has interactions with and everything. So, yeah. So yeah, it's a little on the same storyline as the main game, but it's DLC content. So
sure, yeah.
Carl, what have you been playing, man?
I finished Dead Space 3, which I'm just having so much fun with it. It's just really good. It's really, really good. It is.
You know what? Because of you, Carl, I downloaded it today, and I'm going to play it again. I'm gonna
enjoy it.
I'm gonna see how it runs for me and how it feels the second time, because I haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
You got the you get play the FPS boost, right, on your Series X.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
feels good.
I plan to try those games this October and stream the first one at least.
Yeah. Oh, the first one. Oh, it's the first one. Burley is amazing, man. You'll jump at least 10 times during the game. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're all great. The third one happens to be my personal favorite because of the improvements it makes on the franchise. It actually meaningfully expands upon like gameplay mechanics and adds more story elements that I think were missing at times from the previous games. It doesn't repeat the same exact type of story that the second game does to the first one. But honestly, I think they're all 9 out of 10s, and you should play all of them because they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But, the weapon modification system in the third game is changed, and it made me experiment more.
Yeah.
And another big factor in that is that they don't give you ammo of a specific type anymore. So it doesn't drop like, your handgun ammo, or your whatever other ammo, whatever they call it in this game, It's just, you just get ammo clips and they work for whatever you got because your gun is just a modded thing. You just put all the parts in. So I'm like, yeah, that's great because simplify it. I don't need to be having all this different ammo in my inventory. Like, just don't waste my time with that.
Yeah.
So super cool. Then I saw that there was a DLC, a story DLC called the Awakened, I think. Dead Space 3 Awakened. I thought about buying it. But I was like, hey, let me look at it online. And I watched a YouTube video of someone playing it because it's only like a little over an hour long.
Yeah.
And it looked really good. I would have enjoyed playing it for sure. But, I didn't care to spend the money. It continues right after the game, sort of.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I wanted to see because I want to see where they push the story. And you could skip it, but it makes it more definitive, sort of what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
And what else? I didn't want to start anything new that I would get into, so I randomly played Among Us for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know why. That ended up being the game. I was like, whatever. Like, you won't get into it, right? It's like I'm not gonna get like deep into Among Us. You can't. It's casual, right?
Yeah.
It was fun. I sort of I see the appeal. I see why people like it. There's a bit of addicting. Like you lose a game, you're like, no, I want to try that again. I want to try to trick these people, or you're like, I want to play as the imposter because like most of the time you're playing as a crewmate because only one imposter.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, Carl, and because I went to Burly's stream and Burly had told me that you had came in and watched some of his stream of Pokemon Legends of Arceus. Yes. So are you going to buy it now? Are you convinced?
I think I will not buy it. I have looked at some reviews. I've seen the game, and like my reasoning is that visually it's pretty ugly a lot of the times. Like I think that's pretty consistent for like most people agree with that. The open world aspects of it seem to be like very barren. Like it's just like the only thing you're really doing is just catching Pokemon in the outer world, right? It doesn't really have dungeons and things, and like so that's like I feel like I'm gonna play this game and all I'm gonna do is just catch Pokemon, and it's like it's gonna be like this game looks more collectathon than ever. And if you love that, that's great. This looks like it's perfect for that. But like I played Sword and Shield, and there comes a point where you're like, I'm just getting Pokemon because like, hey, that's a new Pokemon, I should get it. But then I don't use them because like I don't care. There's no point to using them. I feel sometimes like the combat doesn't seem like this has some looks like meaningful improvements to the combat from criticism I've seen say that like the enemies are like even stronger and more difficult sometimes, and like I almost feel like this whole rock paper scissors thing of it, it's like it's too dependent on that to the point where like I put this Pokemon and he's dead in one hit. I'm like, well, great, okay. Next, like I know that's the strategy, but like I don't want to keep repeating that same strategy, and it never seems to change, even with the strong and quick styles, which seem to only make it slightly different. Like another tiny little extra lever to pull when you're playing the combat. So
okay, well, Burly's been playing it, and I'd like to get his assessment, his early assessment of the game and what he thinks of it. So Burly, could you give us your early reactions to Pokemon Legends Arceus? How do you feel about the game, the mechanics, how it plays? What's your take on it, man?
I am enjoying it. Like Carl said, this is quite a different style game, and it is heavily like I've caught more Pokemon this so early. I haven't caught so many Pokemon at the beginning because I've only put about 4 hours into the game. I've never caught so many in my life in this so early in the game. Like because I'll just catch what I want and what I need for my teams. But this is heavily catching because you got to get research experience. Because I've gotten so far no gyms, and I don't think there's really going to be gyms. You don't have a lot of trainer battles.
Right, that's another thing.
It is a different style of game. I'm enjoying exploring around and doing things. Like I love throwing my Pokemon out of the Pokeballs and getting them to hit trees and stuff and interact and gather items. That is a cool mechanic, and they get actually little experience points for that. Not much, but it is a neat little something different that I they're doing different stuff with the series, which I like. But graphically, I have to agree with Carl. I've seen some bad little patches and stuff. This graphically, they compared to Sword or Shield or Brilliant Diamond, this is behind.
And there was a day one patch for this, right, Burly?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But the strong style, agile style, I do like it is a little bit different. It adds a little bit of a layer, but this is a lot tougher of a battle game compared to others, because I find my Pokemon in previous games that are like, I've got a level 12 guy and I'm against a level 3 guy, I should easily be knocking him out and one-shotting him, but they don't do that as much. They seem to be a little bit tougher. I think it's just because the whole catch mechanic, because they want you to keep catching and filling out, because the Pokedex is so primitive in this game, and you have to get info, you got to do all these little research tasks for it, like catch so many, kill so many, see so many use this move, and all that, this and that. So, but I'll give more thoughts as I go through the game more. I've only played 4 hours. So.
Right. From your initial 4 hours, though, and I might have asked you this before, but I'm going to ask you again. For somebody that's never played a Pokemon game before, could they jump into Arceus and enjoy it?
You could jump in if this was your first game, because they still do a lot of the same hold your hand tutorials. Okay. You can skip them if you want. But this is not going to be the game that really gives you what the good impression of the whole series. Okay. Like, if you're wanting something to jump in, I would just jump in with either, if you've got a Switch, Sword or Shield, or Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because those are more traditional.
Right.
But you can jump into this game and have fun, but you got to know this is quite different than the main series.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we'll be looking forward to more of Burly's comments on Pokemon Legends Arceus as we go along, so in the coming weeks. And we'll probably be doing an extra take video on Pokemon Legends Arceus as well, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's jump into the news beat for the week. So we had some interesting stories this past week, and the one I want to start with first today is we're getting more Star Wars games. 3 more new Star Wars games are coming down the pipeline, so I'm going to talk about this now. This is from Polygon.com and Michael McWhorter. So, yeah, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 and 2 more games are going to be coming down the pipeline. So, Apex Legends and Titanfall developer Respawn Entertainment is making 3 more games set in the Star Wars universe. Publisher Electronic Arts and Lucasfilm Games announced Tuesday of this past week. In addition to a follow-up to 2019 single-player action adventure, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Respawn also has a new first-person shooter and a strategy game based on Star Wars in the works. So, yeah, I mean, and not only EA, but, of course, Ubisoft announced last year that it had struck a deal with Lucasfilm Games to develop a new, still untitled Star Wars game at Massive Entertainment, the Swedish studio known for its work on the Tom Clancy's Division series. Developer Quantic Dream also revealed Star Wars Eclipse in December, the first game set in Lucasfilm's New High Republic era for Star Wars, and that was shown at the Game Awards. And yeah, so and then also Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic from BioWare. They're also it's also being remade by Aspire Media for PlayStation 5 and Windows PC. And Star Wars Hunters, a free-to-play multiplayer arena game from Zynga, recently acquired by Take-Two Interactive, is coming to Android, iOS, and the Nintendo Switch sometime this year. So, yeah, guys, 3 new Star Wars games. I'm excited for Jedi Fallen Order 2. I played Jedi Fallen Order, and I enjoyed playing it. It was fun to play. Yeah, and Yeah. What do you guys think? Carl, I'll start with you. Which one of these new ones are you excited for the most?
Well, Jedi Fallen Order 2. I mean, like, that first game was fantastic. It was probably my game of the year that year.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the games that got shorted at the Game Awards because of the timing of it.
Right. I remember that.
I mean, just fantastic, amazing game. Just everything that you want in that style of like third person, action adventure game.
Yeah,
is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the characters. We got the BD droid.
Yeah.
BD1. Just I love that droid. He's fantastic. Just watching him like rummage through the little box for you. It's just a great little animation. Like, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
And then him hacking the stuff and giving BD stim, shooting the little stim canister.
The little stim.
I love that droid.
So good. Perfect. Perfect. I like that. I like the main character. I think he's good. I think what's the actor's name? Monahan, I think is his last name.
Yeah, I don't know. Moynihan or something like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job. I'd love to see him show up somewhere in the live action. I feel like that's the reason they did it, but maybe this game has to tell the story where he goes before they let him show up.
Right.
Then, like the first person one, I mean, obviously it's not really my thing, but if they want to do like a continuation or a reboot of the Dark Forces Jedi Knight series,
right,
and bring back Kyle Katarn, who was a character that people grew to love over time as this other Jedi character. That'd be cool because he's not as far as I know been reintroduced into the current canon.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing as how Jedi Fallen Order does take place in canon of Star Wars right now, maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to allow them to reboot Kyle.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. And then the strategy game, I mean, if it's a turn-based strategy, I'll be super happy.
I was going to say, man, if it's turn-based strategy, that's number one on your list.
Yeah.
Turn-based and day one on Game Pass, Carl will be singing his praise.
Exactly.
It'll be game of the year, like tattooed on his forehead. Yeah.
Yeah. The studio is people who worked on what was it? XCOM, right? They like a new studio by former XCOM people.
Yes,
and that's a turn-based strategy game. But I think there's a possibility. I think some people said that it could be your sort of like Civilization type strategy.
Oh, okay.
Thing. That's another possibility. I'll be, as long as it's not an RTS. Like I might have some interest in it. I just don't really play RTSs.
Yeah.
Even though I used to play, original Warcraft and StarCraft, but not anymore.
So, I mean, okay, this is going to be some spoilers for those of you out there who haven't played Jedi Fallen Order, but at the end of Jedi Fallen Order, basically, they're in the ship and they're going to go out looking for more Jedi, I think it is, right? Supposedly. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what's the possibility of him running into like an Ahsoka, bringing Ahsoka into the game or something like that? I would love to see something like that happen. And of course, we'll probably see, Vader because it's in canon. So again,
timeline wise, it's kind of murky. I don't know exactly where it is. And I know Ahsoka does show up in Rebels.
Yeah.
So
shows up
like
in Mando.
Well, and that's later, right? That's significantly later.
Yeah.
So I mean, trying to weave that in, I feel like maybe they should just have another new character. I know people might be like, "Oh, there's so many Jedi left after Order 66." I'm like, "Well, yeah, they're Jedi. They're awesome. Like, I'm sure a certain amount. I don't care how many.
Yeah, like in hiding somewhere. Yeah, just acting like a normal citizen on a planet somewhere. Yeah.
Kanan, is Kanan still alive at this time period? I don't even know. I guess, because Rebels is a little later. Kanan.
So Kanan. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So we shall see. Burly, which one are you excited for? What? Of course, Jedi Fallen Order 2, but the strategy
most likely
based
Jedi Fallen Order 2. I really did enjoy the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I put a lot of time into that. I platinumed it. I had a lot of fun streaming that game. Right. I'm just more worried with the sequel because you can I could see them screwing it up more. But
Right.
if Respawn takes the time and does good work like they did the first time,
Right.
I have faith.
Now, my
But
final
the other
question.
games,
Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
do we always have to get stuff from the good side? Why don't we get anything from the Sith side of point of view?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if it's a first-person shooter, I mean, can I be a stormtrooper?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you could be in the Battlefronts. I mean,
Nah.
Oh no, I don't want another Battlefront game.
Yeah. And
the only Battlefront, the last Battlefront game I liked and had a lot of fun was Battlefront 2 on the original Xbox.
Yeah. Now, before we move on to the next story, I just want to ask one final question on this to you guys. So, EA, obviously, they signed a contract, I think it was, with Star Wars and Lucasfilm Games and all that back in 2013, I think it was. And then they've only come out, somewhere in there. And of course, Battlefront 2 had major problems. Obviously, Jedi Fallen Order, was probably the most successful of those games. So let's imagine if these next 3 games with Respawn, if they do really well, does that cement a new contract for EA with Star Wars? Because now you have Ubisoft, you have other companies that are going to be making Star Wars, games now as well. So do you think if these next 3 games for EA and with Respawn are successful, that will gain them another contract?
Burly, do you want to go?
I don't think it's ever going to go back. EA's ever going to get an exclusivity, right? That it makes too much money to have it in other developers and see what other people, because they're going to be the owners. Disney on this is going to want, and Lucasfilms is going to want all this, because you've got Ubisoft making it. Whether the game is a hit or not on Ubisoft, it is going to set the Ubisoft game is going to sell gangbusters, and so will some of the other games. So they're going to be like, why do we want to be locked in when we have all these other developers and everyone else claiming to get this, and we can get free money for our license? So I don't think EA will ever get the exclusivity for Star Wars. Again, I don't think there ever be exclusivity deals for Star Wars in terms of games in the next.
Yeah.
So
I think they also, I would say EA, I think, learned their lesson on this. Like, buying that exclusivity didn't work for them. And I think it put a lot of undue pressure on them to really deliver on something epic in Star Wars, to just, to have the weight of that entire franchise. You're the only one who can do it. I mean, that's a lot. And, they didn't produce enough. And as you can see now, even with the license, they can still lock down 3 games. So what the hell do you need to pay money for exclusivity for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's get on to Call of Duty. Of course, last week we had a huge news story. Of course, probably the biggest news story of the past 5 to 10 years, with Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. And of course, that deal is probably going to go through by the middle of next year, most likely. But it seems that what everybody was worried about, particularly on PlayStation side of things, was whether or not Call of Duty would still come to the PlayStation platform or not. And that's what a lot of people were talking about. Well, we got some news on that this week, and I'm going to read some of it for you. This is from Jay Peters at The Verge. Call of Duty's next 3 games will hit PlayStation despite Microsoft's Activision deal. So it goes on to say, Activision plans to release at least the next 3 Call of Duty games on both Sony and Microsoft consoles, Bloomberg reports. The new report should be a sigh of relief to fans who were worried Microsoft would immediately make new Call of Duty games Xbox exclusive if its blockbuster acquisition of Activision goes through. According to Bloomberg, Activision had already committed to bring, quote, the next few, end quote, Call of Duty titles to PlayStation sometime before Microsoft's acquisition was announced. Last week, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer said he told Sony that Microsoft wants to, quote, keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, end quote, and that the company intends to honor existing agreements. So it seems like Activision's commitment with Sony will stay in place. The upcoming Call of Duty games coming to PlayStation will apparently include a new Modern Warfare game from Infinity Ward this year, the next Call of Duty game from Treyarch, and a, quote, planned new iteration, end quote, of the free-to-play battle royale shooter Call of Duty Warzone. However, we're still a long ways out from Activision officially becoming a Microsoft-owned studio, meaning the fate of the Call of Duty series isn't set in stone just yet. The acquisition isn't expected to close until sometime in Microsoft's 2023 fiscal year, which begins on July 1st and ends on June 30th, 2023. So anyway, what do you guys think of this news? I mean, we kind of speculated that, these deals would stay in place in a sense, and that for at least the next couple of years,
Right.
PlayStation would be coming still to, or the Call of Duty would still be going to PlayStation. But what this story doesn't really talk about, though, is they could still come to PlayStation, but for the next 3 years, they're going to go to Game Pass day one, probably as well. Maybe not this year's Call of Duty, obviously, but maybe next year's. And the year after, and the year after that. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Carl, I'll start again with you on this, because Burly and I, we talked about this a little bit during the week on the morning show. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. I just want to say that the Bethesda deal closed in 6 months. So if they can do it in that time, they even have a little bit more leeway. They could get Call of Duty this November launching into Game Pass. Just think about that.
Possibility.
That could be really important and big. This makes 100% sense. I mean, obviously PlayStation has had marketing deals with Call of Duty and, exclusive extra garbage thrown in there just to get people to buy on their platform.
Right.
So the next two mainline Call of Duties, that makes sense. And Warzone, again, makes sense. Whatever they mean by a new iteration, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like Warzone 2. I think it'll just be like,
just add on stuff, probably.
Whatever they want to call it, a season or like a subtitle. Right. I don't know,
Right.
So something like that. That all makes sense. And you're not going to take the free to play sort of battle royale platform away. That was never going to happen. Nobody expected that.
Right.
So this is all really what we kind of thought to begin with. As far as after that, I mean, again, we still don't know. That's where I think Microsoft's going to have that bargaining chip that they're going to, Sony, if there isn't something that you're going to concede to us, whatever that may be, we don't have to give you, we're not going to put on your platform. Everyone seems to think like they need to recoup their money that they spent. And they don't care. They have plenty. It's not important to them to have to rebuild their bank account, They would rather have more subscribers to, a service like Game Pass. That means future revenue, or it means that they can say on their books, I'm getting this much money every month, which means I can spend this much every month. That's the kind of thing you look for.
Right. Burly, how about you on this?
Yeah, this is no surprise that these games were still going to come to PlayStation. I think you'd be nuts to think the next couple weren't going to. I still think they're going to come to PlayStation. I know Game Pass, Microsoft always wants to get you into Game Pass.
Yeah.
But you're always going to have those hardcore guys that are Sony only that will never go to Xbox. There are going to be people like that.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. There are hardcore on every side. So do you want to, because Call of Duty sells gangbusters on PlayStations, I think they still want to keep that sales. Even though they're not as worried about recouping their cost, it's just this is easy money. But I think you're going to, all that exclusivity deal shit, that's all going to go to Microsoft.
Yeah.
And none of it over the years, like Carl has said, it's been crap. It has been crap.
Yeah.
I will not deny that. So whether it's going to be bigger exclusivity stuff that you actually care about is going to go to my Xbox, or is it going to be the same thing, like an extra map that nobody cares about?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's think about this. What percentage of people who I'm going to assume, well, you could say everyone, but a lot of these Call of Duty players might be fairly casual, right? In the sense that they, every year they buy Call of Duty and they maybe don't buy much else, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And let's say they're only on PlayStation. What percentage of those people do you think will, if that game was not on PlayStation more, would just be like, well, I'm just not going to buy Call of Duty?
There is a good
This is
percent.
the way.
I would say there'd be a good about 30 to 40%.
Okay,
not
30. Let's say it's 30. What is the take that Sony gets per Call of Duty game sold on their store?
I have no idea how much they make. They make Sony makes a ton.
What is the studio industry standard? I don't remember. Is it 30%? It might be 30%. What is that store number? Like, we know the Steam numbers. What was it, like 20 something maybe, and Epic was like 15 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Epic was 15. I think Valve is 30. Yeah. I think 30. Yeah. 30 for Steam.
So I think 30 is the standard on both Xbox and PlayStation. So if they lose 30%, and they would be losing 30% anyway on the sales on every PlayStation copy, can't they just be like, yeah, screw it?
Yeah.
What does it matter, right?
Yeah.
Because if they get all those people buying it on their platform, that means they're on their platform. It means they can spend more on other things, regardless of if they do. But
yeah,
it's a gamble, of course. But I'm sure that they are running the numbers to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. We're still a long ways away because we still need the deal to close, and then they're still gonna be like, this is gonna be after they take them over. This is 6 months to a year of them cleaning out Blizzard and Activision.
Oh yeah,
you got like Kotick is one problem that will be going. But you've then got all the other managers and shit, all the other high ups that have caused problems. Microsoft isn't stupid. They know they've got to clear them out. So this is going to take a while to do all that kind of stuff, and then the games and stuff.
Yeah. But going back to your point about like all these gamers that will never ever come to Xbox, or like Xbox players that will never come to PlayStation. Like just a few minutes ago when I referred to this is the way, I kind of think of those people. If any of you out there that watch Mandalorian, of course, those traditionalists that never take their helmets off, I compare those religious zealots to those type of gamers. I mean, obviously I understand if you don't have the money to buy a second console or something, I understand that, but just those types of people that, I'm never going to play an Xbox, or I'm never going to play on a PlayStation. Come on, man. And this is the way.
Yeah, I mean, there are people out there who might be a PlayStation zealot, right? Who's acting like they don't want to have to buy another platform, but then they'll go and buy like the $200 collector's edition for Horizon Forbidden West.
Right.
So it's like you got the money. So like if you're serious,
but I need Aloy's belt. Aloy's belt.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just Microsoft has positioned themselves very well in this situation because I mean they can just put it on Game Pass day one, and then all those people, as time goes on, they're going to see all that money that they're spending on these games when they can just have a subscription and get it day one. So anyway, okay, so let's get on to our next story. So let's talk about these games that are going to be releasing really soon. We're almost in February, and Elden Ring this past week went gold, so it's going to come out. It's going to hit that release date. Horizon Forbidden West, it has also gone gold. It's going to hit its release date as well. And we got some glimpses of PS4 Pro gameplay from Horizon Forbidden West as well. So my question is for you guys, and Carl, I know you might have some things to say about this, but what do you guys think?
When do I not?
What do you guys think? Okay. Carl, okay. I'll take that back. You always have opinions, all right? So anyway,
I love that the joke hit
as
you
do we all.
like a minute
As do we
later,
all.
like you just couldn't. You're like, I gotta laugh. I gotta.
He tries to do straight face, but we make it so hard for him.
Right. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is, I mean, especially this one's kind of for you, Carl, because I know you like to talk about graphical stuff, but I mean, how do you guys feel about games that are being released and having all of these graphical comparisons before the game is released, like say 2 to 3 weeks before release of a game, like for PlayStation now with Horizon Forbidden West, PS4 Pro version versus PS5. Is it necessary? What do you guys think? Carl, I'll start with you on this because I know you have an opinion on stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is it necessary? I mean, yes and no. If you're Digital Foundry, that's your bread and butter, right? Like,
yeah,
there are groups that just do this because they're not trying to. If it's console versus console, that's another thing. But even if it's like they like to analyze the details, right? The graphical like features and things that are actually like technicalities that are happening in the game, right?
Yeah.
Because that's something they're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And, other people are taking away things from this. That's not their intent.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think there is a value in it because, I mean, I don't do it as much as now, but I used to back in like the 360 PS3 era when they had those comparisons. There were a few games where I'm like, I have both systems and I want to see which one might have, because those platforms had actual significant things that you might have wanted to pick one or the other. Here now, like they're so close, so similar. I don't think it really matters much. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, like, Red Dead Redemption, like, had significant advantages on Xbox 360 over PS3. Okay. And, even, your Skyrims and Fallouts, like those games had advantages as well. So like there have been actual purposes to doing these. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important. I don't know if you're a PS4 gamer still and you don't necessarily have a PS5 yet and you're thinking about getting one and you see how good it looks on PS4 Pro, you might be like, I could stick with this for now. Right. It's giving you more information. There's really nothing wrong with it.
Right. But is seeing these graphical comparisons and seeing the PS4 Pro version of Horizon Forbidden West, does it convince you Carl, to be like, hey, because I have a PS4, I don't have a PS5 yet, but like, yeah, maybe I will get it on PS4 now.
If I had a Pro, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have a Pro. Oh, you just have the base PS4.
I have the base, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you had
assuming.
The Pro. Okay.
I don't have the Pro. I'm assuming it's still 30 frames per second, though, right? On the Pro.
Well, sure it is, yeah.
Yeah, so like I want the 60. That's what I want. That's the big difference to me. And you're not going to get that on the CPU that you got in the Pro, even in the 1X. Like those CPUs struggle to do that.
Okay,
that's the thing. To me, that's the biggest difference. And these games look great. The reason, I think people are misconception of like why these games look so great. Even still, like The Last of Us 2 looked incredible on my base PS4. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right.
And that's because the art design, the amount of the budget and the resources, the number of people, sheer amount of people working on these games. You put that much effort and work into it and and the talent that they have there, they're going to look fantastic on an older platform.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, initially when the PS4 came out, I mean, there were a lot of games that weren't even pushing the hardware yet. I mean, it's like once we got to mid to late generation, then we really got to see how, when you push that hardware, how well these things could run and, how beautiful they look. So, and the same with PS5, I mean, and the Series X. I mean, we're just getting started with the generation. Just think 3 to 4 years from now, what kind of games we're going to be getting and how it's going to push that hardware. So, we'll see. Burly, what's your assessment, or what do you think of these graphical comparison things when they come down the pipeline before a release?
Yeah, like as Carl said, for some people, this is their bread and butter, and this is how they make their living and
Mhm.
stuff. And some people really get into it. I like years ago, I used to watch this stuff, but like for me, I have a PS5, so it's like, yeah, it's cool seeing it on the PS4 Pro, but
Yeah.
I only have a base PS4 like Carl. So it's like, but I got the PS5, so I already know I'm going for the PS5 version.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's neat to see
As am
how
I
it
as well.
look.
So, yeah.
It's neat to see how PS4 Pro it'll run there,
Yeah.
but kind of show me how it runs on the PS4 base PS4.
Yeah.
Show me that.
They don't
Right.
want
That's
You're probably right, Carl. They don't
Yeah.
want to. Yeah. That's why
yeah,
it's the
no,
Pro. Yeah.
they don't want to because they want to show high off because the PS4 Pro. It's like you don't have if you can't show us all three, but they won't.
Yeah.
But it's just like this is something as I've gone over the last little while, I'm going less and less.
Yeah.
But I get it for people. They're showing it so if you do own a PS4 Pro, you couldn't get a PS5 or
Yeah.
don't want to get a PS5, you can see how it looks and be like, okay, this looks good to me.
Yeah.
I'll pick this up.
And another thing about the videos, how much do you want to bet when they were running that on PS4 Pro that they muted the sound from the background?
Oh god.
Because I bet you that PS4 Pro is probably just going, as that game was playing. So they probably muted that out, because those, I mean, like I was saying, I mean, it's pushing the hardware. And boy, oh boy, when you play games like that and God of War and Spider-Man and stuff on the PS4 Pro or the base PS4, boy, oh boy, does it make noise. Like a jet engine. Yeah. So whereas with the PS5, I think Burly can attest to this too. The PS5 so far has been very quiet so far.
Yeah. It's pretty quiet. It's all. I don't hear it compared to the because I didn't have the Pro, but the base PS4, you launch Ghost of Tsushima, and that thing is a jet engine.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the same. I have the
It's-
PS4 Pro, and it's the same. It's a jet engine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting generational difference because even on the Xbox One S and One X, the fan would ramp up. You'd hear it. It wasn't as loud as the PS4, but you still hear it.
Yeah.
And now this generation, like with the Series X, like I don't have experience with the PS5, but I mean, I forget that it's even on. I never hear it.
Yeah.
There was
It's
only
the
that
same.
one time. The only time I ever heard it was like when they first updated Avengers. And I played a little bit of that. And for some reason, it was making the thing like the fan go off. Like maybe there's some sort of glitch or bug that they had in it that was doing something weird.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I never.
Yeah. Just some advice for all of you people out there: clean your consoles. Don't let it get too dusty, because boy, oh boy, that will also, make it start to run really, noisily.
I did that. Yeah.
So,
if you have a Series X, check the bottom.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't realize because it's like a vortex funnel sucking up the air through the bottom. You don't realize that and pushing it out through the top because there's that little tiny base that's sort of holding it up. So if you have it standing up vertically, it can pull in some dust that'll get and some hairs if you have cats or something like that that's stuck around the bottom. Yeah. Just give it a tip. Just get that crap off. It'll help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All righty. Okay, so it's time to get on to our topic of the show. So Burly and I, we talked about this briefly during the morning show as we introduced the topic of the show for this week. And of course, it's should the most difficult games also have an easy mode? So, I mean, I'm a gamer that maybe, and I said this during the morning show, 20 years ago, I probably would have played every game on difficult mode or crushing mode or whatever. Because I used to I was a basketball player in college. I was super competitive. I was really, really competitive on anything. But I mean, I'm at a point in my life now where I just like to enjoy games and have fun. I don't care about the challenges. I don't care so much about, 100% completion on particular games. I just want to enjoy the story and have fun. If I want to complete it and do 100%, I think easy mode is probably the best way to do that. But I like to play games with as minimal amount of stress as possible, and for the enjoyment of it all. Yeah, I mean, I'll play some games on normal too, normal mode, but I like to play a lot of games on easy mode. But there are games out there, as we know, that do not have an easy mode. They don't allow an easy mode. It's only a difficult mode because, I mean, the games are very, very difficult. I mean, of course, the Dark Souls games, Bloodborns, those type of games, you don't have an easy mode. So, I mean, should games like that, and say all games, have an easy mode so it could cater to every type of gamer? So, what do you guys think of this? Burly, I'll start with you. How do you feel about this? Should the most difficult games have an easy mode?
Yeah, like I'm not. I know some people go, "You filthy casual." It's like, what do most people play games for? Story and fun. If you want to play hard mode, play it on hard. There's nothing wrong with playing games. Just having fun, experiencing the story. In my opinion, I know some people don't like hearing that, but it's like there's some games I just don't want to sit on a boss fight for 2.5 hours because you have 2 seconds to parry, and if you don't parry, you lose 90% of your health. Like,
yeah.
Come on. Like, I've played so many games. There are games I like doing on hard, and there's some I don't. Like, Ratchet and Clank, the hard modes aren't really that hard, so I play any of them. I play them on the hard just because that's the only way for me to get any kind of challenge in story. But, like, Uncharted, I've done most of them on hard just because I've had fun doing them on hard. But, like, if I don't have to play on hard, I'm not gonna always. Like, so I usually like taking my first stroll on normal, easy, just to get myself familiar with the game's mechanics, get the story, and if I really enjoy it and I really like it, I will go back playing it on hard.
Yeah. So, Carl, how do you feel about this, and what are your preferences usually when it comes to games?
Yeah, so you asked if I should have easy mode in all games, and actually, I think even better is that you should have just difficulty options, right? Like, you should have easy, you should have normal, you should have hard, right? And if you want to have more, there's sometimes games have 4 levels, 5 levels, however many you want, right? Because, like, look at Dark Souls, right? People love those games because they have a difficulty level that makes you feel some sort of an accomplishment, right? You feel like you're part of this group that can defeat this game, right? But then you have guys who are like playing it with a Guitar Hero guitar, right? I'm like, so clearly the game isn't hard enough, right? So, like, why isn't there a hard mode in Dark Souls? That's the thing. Like, these people are so focused on the idea that, like, oh, you're trying to make it easier so everybody else can play. Well, why don't they also add a harder mode so you can be even crazier? I mean, so, like, I generally I start on normal, pretty much everything I play, because I want to get I think that's always the intent of the developer is normal, right? Whatever the normal difficulty is. This is where they want the games to be. And if I choose to play easy, I know that I am like not playing it the way the developer intended it, the difficulty they intended.
Okay.
And that's enough for me. I don't need to feel like there's no like the Dark Souls people or the Soulsborne people, if I change it to easy, that doesn't change the fact that you played it on normal. You can laugh at me for playing on easy if you want. That's fine. Like, I can enjoy. At least I can talk about the game with you. If I don't play it, then I will never care about your game in the way you do because I'm not going to play it. And then on top of that, a lot of times, if I love a game, I will, and I want to play it more, I will raise the difficulty and enjoy it at a higher difficulty. And now that I've trained myself and I know the game, I will play it at a higher difficulty. And, State of Decay 2 is my example. I started on normal, and they added Nightmare. I played Nightmare. They added Lethal. I play Lethal. I play the highest possible difficulty on that game. And, it's because I've played enough of it to the point where I enjoy it still at that level.
Yeah. Yeah, there's games out there that I love, but I've just never completed them because it didn't have an an easier difficulty level. I just couldn't get through it, and it just got frustrated, and I just put it aside because I thought I'd probably never finish it. And if it had an easy mode, I probably would. An easy difficulty level, I probably would have finished it, and I would have had a hell of a lot more enjoyment with it. But those genre of games I love to play, but then again, because it doesn't give you the option to play it on an easier difficulty level. It just it's difficult for me to finish. So there's a lot of games out there I would have loved to have finished, but I didn't because, it was just too difficult for me. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, if they want to do things like disable achievements on easy, I don't care. Or trophies. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care.
Whoa, no, let's not go too hasty.
Here comes Burly here. Yeah, Burly.
Well, if
Burly,
that's the developer,
platinum guy. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm at 100 now. I have a problem.
Good. Yeah.
If the developer's intent is that you should be playing it at a certain difficulty, and they decide that they want to make lower difficulty no achievement or trophies, then that's fine. Who cares? Like, that's a choice you can make.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think every game should allow you to change difficulty on the fly.
Right.
I hate when a game is like, you go to change difficulty. Like, no, you can't do that here. You gotta start the whole game over. Start different.
Yeah.
No. The perfect example for me was God of War, on the recent one, PS4.
Yeah.
Played the entire game on normal. I beat all the Valkyries except for the last one.
Oh, the Queen.
I fought that thing like a whole bunch of times. I'm like, I felt like I was getting so close. I get so close, and then like I get set back, and I do worse, and I do worse, and I got to a point I'm like, I spent enough time. I'm just not going to bother with it. I dropped it down to easy, beat her in the first try. And that's because I trained myself already to fight this thing so much, and it was just a matter of like not getting hit one or two more times, and I won.
Yeah, I made the mistake once of trying. I played Modern Warfare. I think it was Modern Warfare 2 in like just a death mode or whatever it's called, the highest difficulty.
Veteran.
What's that?
Veteran. That's the Call of Duty.
Oh my god! It's like just okay. Level starts, dead.
Oh
Start
yeah,
again,
no,
dead. It just like just getting through one area. It took me about 3 hours and about 57 deaths.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's just,
and you're so low on ammunition. Oh yeah, no.
Exactly.
Veteran, old school veteran is not like it is not easy. You have to sit there and like you got to be smart with your bullets and everything.
Oh yeah. I actually streamed it once, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" It's like never again am I going to do that. Never again. I mean, I love to play those games. I love to play the campaigns and all, but it's on like veteran. There's just no way. Can't do it. If I was 22 years old, again, had a hell of a lot more patience and had a hell of a lot more, reflective. I would do it. But no, I'm just can't do that anymore.
Free time. That's the thing. Like we're adults now. We have all these other obligations in life, and there's a lot of gamers who are like us now.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like when I was younger, I get home from school and I just, if I did my homework, then I'm just playing video games for as long as I want, and then once I was in college, once I was done with college and I was, maybe working, but I didn't have any other obligations like a family now, if I wanted to sit there and play a video game for 8 hours straight, I'm doing it,
Right.
Now I can play 2 hours, maybe max. That's kind of like where I get to at most at this point.
Right. All right. Well, yeah. I think all games should have difficulty levels for every type of gamer. So whether it's easy or veteran or crushing or whatever, and normal difficulties as well. I mean, so. All right. So it's time to get on to our new game releases for the week of January 31st. through February 6th. So, of course, Burly, Carl, and I, we give our pick of the week. So I will start. And my pick for this week, I don't know how this is going to launch, man. I think all of us are kind of like wondering how this is going to do when it comes out. But I'm picking it anyway. Dying Light 2, Stay Human. I really enjoyed the first game. Burly keeps saying "nani," which means what? I mean, that's the only word Burly knows in Japanese. I taught him that, and now he can't just stop saying it.
Mosh mosh. Domo arigato.
Burly, you're not on the telephone, okay? So stop.
What do you know the thing that he says in like Naruto says? He had like a catchphrase thing. Did you ever watch it?
Believe it?
That's the English translation, but the Japanese, like, apparently that's not the translation.
I forget what it is. I haven't watched Naruto in years.
I'm trying to remember.
Neither have I. Yeah.
Was it? I think it was like Datebayo.
Oh,
Datebayo.
Datebayo.
Yeah, that was it. Datebayo.
Yeah. Well, what does that mean? I think it doesn't believe it. The English translation, I was like, this is
it's
silly.
slang. It's slang.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Dying Light 2. So the first campaign, Dying Light's campaign was really good. I really enjoyed playing that back when it came out on PlayStation. So anyway, Dying Light 2, Stay Human, it comes out. It comes out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S on February 4th. And the Switch version is going to be delayed until August. So
who's going to buy that game on the Switch? Seriously.
Yeah.
The streaming thing? God damn.
Yeah. So anyway, let me go ahead and read the description. Let me read the description of it here. The virus won and civilization has fallen back to the Dark Ages. The city, one of the last human settlements, is on the brink of collapse. Use your agility and combat skills to survive and reshape the world. Your choices matter. So anyway, Dying Light 2, Stay Human, yes, on February 4th. So that's my pick of the week. And let's hope it has a good release and, people enjoy playing it. So that are going to pick that up. So
I think it's going to do well. I think it looks very good. I'm tempted to play that game. It's something that, like, if they announced it was coming to Game Pass, I'd be like, yes, I will play it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If it was coming to Game Pass, I would download this on my Series S, even though I've not played the first game, but to try it out.
Yeah. You guys should try the first game if you haven't played it. It's really fun.
I will. Really it's just a matter of being a content creator that I have so many new releases and stuff to come out. My own time for playing games is limited. I'm trying to finish Judgment.
Yeah. Nani? Hayaku shiteo. Hayaku. That means hurry up and finish it.
Yeah. I'm at the
Get the Lost Judgment. Yeah. What's that?
I said I'm close to the end. We're at the real big turn.
Cool. Awesome. Carl, what's your pick of the week?
Storyteller.
Awesome.
This is coming to PC and Switch on February 1st, and it says, with Storyteller, you are the one writing the stories. Start with the title, characters, and settings, and create your own twist on stories familiar and new. Awesome. And that's not a big description. So what it looks like is like you have a sort of panel of like almost like comic book panels, and there's a title, and you have these little options that you can drop into it. You drop characters in and a couple other things, and you have to like sort of build the story that the title is trying to tell you, like tragedy, or this one says curse is broken, or temptation, right? And you have to make something that matches that theme. And what's interesting is that it looks like you can do that in so many any way that sort of makes any sort of sense. It doesn't have to be the one singular solution. So it's almost like a puzzle, but that has more freeform answers to it.
Okay. All right. And when does that release?
Oh, I said February 1st.
Okay, February 1st.
Yes.
All right. Burley, what's your pick of the week, man?
My pick of the week is Life is Strange Remastered Collection. Return to Arcadia Bay and experience 2 award-winning Life is Strange games like never before. Remastered visuals and animation breathe new life into the great cast of characters and gripping stories. Comes out February 1st, Tuesday, February 1st to PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series. I'm
Nice.
looking forward to this because I did pick up True Colors on sale, so it'd be nice to kind of go in, get a refresher, and kind of get so I'm ready for True Colors. Like I don't know how much the story takes beats from the other games, but it'd be nice to go back.
I'll tell you this much, Burley. If you're playing it on, what are you playing it on? Are you playing it on PlayStation?
Yeah.
Okay, it's an easy platinum.
Oh yeah, I know that too. I
If
got the platinums
yeah.
on the base PS4 games years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I just take all the pictures. Yeah, the photos are important. So in those games. So
Burley, are you one of those people who has to play like the entire series before the new one?
No, not every time. Not every
Okay.
time. No, not every time. But I do like in the case of Horizon, it was like I hadn't played it for so long, so I wanted to go back, and I never played Frozen Wilds, so it was like, you know what? Let's get a little refresher, and I'll do the same with God of War later.
Yeah,
just so that way, because when it's big story-based games like that, I like to have a little bit of refresher. But like, if I don't have the time, I will watch those IGN or other YouTube videos that'll be like, catch you up in 10 minutes of what happened in the last game.
Those are useful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When you don't have time and you just want to jump into something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Burley. I wanted to play, Frozen Wilds because I hadn't finished it, and it had been so long since I had played Horizon Zero Dawn. So, I wanted to go back and relearn the mechanics and everything, and get familiar with the controls and stuff. So, because on the 18th, I mean, going to jump right into Forbidden West. So,
yeah, game like Horizon, I feel like if I tried to play the first one again before the second one, I'd get a bit of burnout because it's a lengthy game, and I don't expect the second game to be wildly different. I expect it to improve upon it and add things to it. But I feel like playing this large thing the same time over for another like 30 hours, that's a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the PS Plus games for February. So, Burley, what are we getting for PS Plus in February? And I know you had some things to say about this during the morning show. So, why don't you tell us what's coming and your thoughts on that, and Carl's thoughts as well. Hey, go ahead.
It's gold. It's gold.
So we got UFC 4 coming to EA Sports, UFC 4 coming to PS4. We've also got Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderlands one-shot adventure, which was a Borderlands 2 DLC, but they've been and now just put it as standalone. But this is we all know this is coming because the new game's coming next month in March. So they're just putting that out so you have that refresher and buy it. And then the PS5 exclusive Planet Coaster Console Edition, which it's basically like Roller Coaster Tycoon. And who wants to play that with a controller? I'd rather play that with a mouse and keyboard any day. Like
yeah.
I'm being honest here. Like I can't, like, this is a shit month. For like January was a good month. This has not, like, other than the Tiny Tinas I may try. UFC, I'm not into like playing those games. Like I've heard there's some good things, improvements on 4, but they still lack in other areas. And it's like the Planet Coaster, if I really want to try this, load it up on PC. I'll just wait for a Steam sale and pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like why they're doing this. I mean, are they going to stealthily come out with more information about Spartacus or something in the next couple of months? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, Yeah. I mean, they can't throw big name games in there right now, maybe because they're saving them for Spartacus or something. I just,
You know what I thought they would have done? I would have thought they would have thrown the first Horizon because they've been giving that game away a few times. Just throw it up. Just to help,
Yeah.
But Burley, they want you to buy that now before, because people are more likely to buy that before the game comes out.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
True, but even though I already own the damn thing, I'd rather see that up there than.
Well, yeah, of course.
I hate to say it. Give us Last of Us 2 free, and I may actually try that game.
Yeah. Well, wait. You didn't play Last of Us 2?
I haven't even finished the first game.
Oh, well, okay.
I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend you skip the rest of the first game and just play the second. It's totally fine.
I know the whole story. I've moderated panels that have streamed it, and yeah.
Don't get too attached, Burley. Don't get.
Yeah. Turn off your emotions and just say Abby is right every time. That's what I know.
She was right. No, she made mistakes too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Planet Coaster Console Edition, PS5. Do you get it for PS4 also?
No, it's the PS5 exclusive. That's our PS5 game.
Yeah.
And there lies the big problem with this garbage that PlayStation is trying to pull.
Yep.
Okay. Because that game is on PS4 also. So, why are they offering you 3 games? But actually, if you're on PS4, you only get 2 games.
Yeah.
When the game they're offering on PS5 has a PS4 version.
Right.
That's some nonsense right there.
Yeah.
So, but Planet Coaster is probably the best of these games because, I mean, it might be weird to play that type of game on a console if you can wrap your head around the controls and however they made them work. Mm-hmm. Those games can be really fun.
Yeah.
I like those type of games. I haven't played one in a long time, but I like those sim type of games.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Tiny Tina thing, I didn't even know it. Never heard of it. Didn't know it existed. I thought the other one that they announced, the new one, was the first time they used that. But what do I know?
I didn't know I had to consult a Borderlands guy.
Yeah.
It's like I played the first one, had a lot of fun with the first game, tried to get into the second one. Way too late after it came, and it's just like I can't. And then Borderlands 3, I saw nothing that appealed to me to buy it.
Yeah, this new Tiny Tina's game that's coming. I still haven't even finished Borderlands 3. I mean, I'm about 65-70% finished with it. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah,
I tried Borderlands 2 on something. Was it Games with Gold or Game Pass? Something. One of those things. Because I was never really interested, but everyone's like talking about this franchise like it's a big deal, and I played like maybe half hour to an hour, and I was like, nah, I don't like this. Not for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Carl, it's you're up now. It's time for our Games with Gold for February, as well as the Game Pass games that are going to be coming in February that we know of at the moment. So let's start with the Games with Gold first. What do we got coming?
We've got some real nuggets here. Okay.
Nuggets.
Now, by nuggets, I mean like the tiniest little.
What do you mean by nuggets? But
the smallest piece, the smallest, tiniest piece of gold that you could have, that is kind of worth almost nothing.
Okay, yeah. All
so
right.
we got Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, and we have Aerial Knights, Never Yield, and those are your Xbox One games.
Yeah.
And then you've got Hydrophobia and Band of Bugs, which are your 360 games. And that's I don't really have descriptions here, and I don't really need to. These games are whatever. I mean, I don't know anything about any of these games other than like I've heard of Broken Sword as a franchise, and then it's one of those. It used to be like that point and click adventure type of game. And I'm sure this is some version of that. The other games, I don't know. Don't know anything.
Shout out to our patron and friend of the show, Tuwheel. He was saying that Band of Bugs is probably the best game on the list for the month of February for the games with gold on there. So
Okay.
yeah. So
I gotta say that Aerial Knights Never Yield. That's a cool name. It's a good name you got there.
yeah. Okay, and what about the Game Pass games that we know of at the moment that are coming in February, Carl?
You got Dreamscaper on February 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
and you have Besiege on February 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And you also, which is Edge of Eternity, which is February 10th as well.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a turn-based RPG that I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the descriptions, so I don't know if you care to want them or have them.
Well, going back to the Dreamscaper, it looks pretty cool. And that was originally released on PC and Switch back in 2020. So, yeah.
And Besiege is a console version, so I'm assuming it was on PC before.
Right. Yeah.
So it says.
Yeah, we don't really
console.
have any descriptions for those as of yet, but as the closer we get to the releases, we'll be able to come out with something.
Besiege, what was on computer before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it says here, in it, players build siege engines to fight off enemies, destroy castles, and solve puzzles. There you go.
Yeah, for a Besiege console. Yeah, so yeah,
they look fine.
Dreamscaper says a roguelite split into two distinct experiences. At night, players dream and have to fight back against enemies in a fantastical nightmare world. During the day, they live their normal lives, exploring the city and building relationships with other characters in the game that in turn give them bonuses for when they've been in the dream world. So I'm reading this from GameRant.com. So any of you that want to check out the description for the Dreamscape, it's on there. So
yeah, we haven't had an official drop from Xbox as they usually do for the Game Pass stuff for February. So
yeah, because they're going to surprise us. They're going to surprise us with a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. So
they always do.
Always do, I'm sure. Yeah. So
certainly.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that. I mean, just like with the Rainbow Six Extraction and Hitman, the Hitman collection. I mean, those were like stealth drops. So who knows what we're going to get in February as the month progresses. We shall see.
Dying Light 2 is looking less possible. It's getting real close to be short notice. I mean, not that they couldn't say the week before, but
it would help the game. It would honestly help the game. If it went to Game Pass, if they announced right now Microsoft got a last minute deal and said, day one on Game Pass, I would try it. I know you guys would both try it.
Yeah.
So it's like it would give a few people to try.
Yeah, but I mean, with so many games coming out in February, though, I mean, like the Elden Rings, the Horizon Forbidden Wests, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Game Pass stealthily drops games this coming month. I mean, how big will those games be? Or maybe they'll just be indie related, because you figure a lot of those games, maybe people will play them, but maybe not in February because with all the stuff coming out, we shall see. I don't know. But.
Yeah. I mean, if Microsoft doesn't have a February thing right now, PlayStation has Horizon. Nintendo, I mean, I'm going to say they have Pokemon because it just came out now. I mean,
right. It's
if you
right at the end of
playing
January,
that in February.
So, right.
Yeah. You'll be playing that all of February if you're a big Nintendo Pokemon fan, for sure.
Right.
So Microsoft, it would behoove them to grab one of these other third-party, AAA games for Game Pass, if that's something that they're interested in trying to get people to do. But who knows what they want to do?
Yeah.
How much money they want to spend? What they got from March? Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to take a minute here to talk about our stuff that's going on with the podcast and on our Patreon. Of course, on Patreon, we have our Star Wars Republic series that is everything about the world of Star Wars, and we're doing the Book of Boba Fett. So our Chapter 5 reactions are out now. as well as going up to our YouTube channel after early access. So check that out. And for the podcast, of course, the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast morning show that we do Monday through Fridays, Burly and I, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch and on YouTube, on Twitter, on Meta, pretty much everywhere you can, wherever you want to watch us. On our podcast Facebook page. Yes, our Facebook page. It is live on there as well, streaming live. So we're pretty much everywhere. So we want to have the podcast available to as many people that want to watch us as possible. So Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Burly and I, we go for about 30 to 40 minutes talking about the latest in the day's gaming news. So if you get a chance, check us out for that. So
now it's time. Quick note. Speaking of Meta, nobody really talked about this story, but they renamed the Oculus Quest to the Meta Quest.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I caught this a while ago because there was a game that they announced, a VR game, and you know how they show the platforms. Mm-hmm. The bottom said MetaQuest on one of those games a while ago. So
interesting. Yeah. So I mean, we do have a Facebook page for the podcast on Meta. So I decided to put the morning show live stream on that as well, because there are people out there that could possibly find our podcast and check us out. So we want to be available for all of you out there wherever you watch your videos and your content. So wherever you are, whether it's Meta, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, come and check us out. Like I said, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Burly and I, for about 30 to 40 minutes, we go through that day's gaming news. So check us out. And of course, Carl, our other co-host here, he's in the chat with us usually. So he's with us in spirit. Yeah. Okay, so it's time to tell everybody where you can find us on social media. You can find me on Twitter at expat_gamer. On my Twitch channel, of course, at twitch.tv/expat_1. You can see my live streams there. And, of course, our YouTube channel at The Arena Productions is my YouTube channel and the YouTube channel for all of us here at the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast and all of our content. So you can check me out there. So Burly, where can people find you on social media, man?
You can find me on Twitter at Burlyman Gaming. You can also find me, as I am a Twitch affiliate, twitch.tv/Burlyman Gaming. And if you want to make my streams harder, more fun, you can also check my Streamloots page, streamloots.com/Burlyman Gaming.
All right. And Carl, where can people find you, man, on social media?
I'm on Twitter at Turn-Based Carl, where I am being always positive, right? And I'm talking about how much I love Dead Space and Eternals and Peacekeeper, and never negative.
Okay. Never negative? Okay. All right.
I try to balance it a little. I want to be a little bit more positive, but maybe sometimes there's just some negativity. Who knows? Take a look.
Yeah. Who knows? All right. Thanks, Carl, man. So to end the show, our indie recording artist spotlight. So this week's spotlight is on Icolics. Icolics produces video-oriented music in various genres, from calm acoustic folk songs to modern powerful rock music for commercial purposes. His music has been featured on several TV shows, broadcast to local and global audiences. From his album titled Keep the Groove, and the song is called Dance Like Crazy. This has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 71. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly of Burlyman Gaming on Twitch, and Turn-Based Carl. So we hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace out.